Record.
Sweet.
All right.
So, what do you want to talk about, Jonathan?
You guys are musicians. Tell us about music.
Yeah. It says here you're an actor.
Tell us about acting.
I guess we're
Before 9/11.
Boo.
too sensitive. No, that's terrible. That's terrible.
You guys ticklish?
You ticklish? Ticklish?
I don't know. I hate this shit. I don't know.
All right. So
What's so funny?
What?
What's so funny about us?
What's so funny? What? All right. So you guys did most of the technical stuff as far as the recording goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is correct.
Sweet question.
How did that go? Working together
Actually,
as a team.
worked really well.
Kid's a real team player.
Well, at least I don't know. I did a lot of other recording, but Brendan was the only real person that like recorded me a lot of the time,
It's true.
and it worked out really well because he brought a percussive feel, which I don't necessarily lack, but he's way better at since he plays drums, and that was really cool for me because like it made a lot of the stuff that I enjoyed way better, and just like it was like the final touch that I really needed on some of my stuff. And even now, like on State Line, you have a percussive like do 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 or whatever the beat is that I can't remember.
I actually like tapped it into a
yeah.
microphone so you remember what bass
So
hit. Like just
like I have the notes and then he has the percussive side, so it really is a combination effort.
that remains to be recorded.
Yeah.
But he knows the notes.
Yeah.
And I gave him the beat to hit notes too.
And like I've never done that before. I've always, I don't know, had to do it on my own. So that was really an interesting way to approach bass, like a whole new way
Yeah.
to do so, which was really, I think it's gonna help the album a lot.
Yeah. It's cool like being able to have the time to do that. 'Cause we're not worried about,
Spending
like how much money
2.5
we're spending
hours.
per hour to record. So it's cooler because it can just be whenever we feel like it. And if that happens to be like from 1 a.m. until like 5 a.m. and we're just like wanting to record, then we can just do that. And like that's the perfect time to fuck around with stuff like that. Like, be like, why don't you just try a new bass line? Like that's kind of
There's no reason not to.
there's no reason not to because it's not like we're wasting money. It's
Yeah.
we already paid the money for like the mixer and shit. We have everything we need,
And we're
and it's just a
doing
matter
it
of our own time. And if we're willing to devote our time, then
and make it that much better.
exactly. And why not try it? Because we're finding a lot of the ways that we do things live either don't translate as well to a recording, or it could just be better because we have the time to sort it through and to see what works better with the way the recording sounds, the way that it is.
Yeah.
It's a little different.
It's taking back from, I don't know, I've always watched other artists say this, but like deconstructing a song
Mm-hmm.
and really figuring, because like when you play it live, there's always a certain element of not being off, but just getting through the song.
Yeah, and it's different because that's, you're doing it live as a band, and if there are sort of flubs, then the other, everyone else covers that, or it's like part of the live feel. But when it's a recording, it's just a whole different thing because you're trying to make it sound as good as it can on the recording. And if you screw something up, there's no reason not to redo it.
Yeah.
Although some of the flubs that happen end up sounding cool in the recording, and then that adds a whole different flavor, which is another fun thing about not having some like ponytailed producer there like telling you that like that was a mistake. It's like, no, fuck you, it's a mistake. It's like this is our song, we think it sounds good, it's gonna stay that way, and we're all gonna play to that mistake, and it won't be a mistake anymore.
And it's part of the song.
Like you're afforded that luxury, which a lot of people would shit on, but I think it just adds character to it. That kind of thing can stay and just be built on. It's like it changes.
Defines it more.
Yeah.
And it's just fun, because I've had to. I know personally, and even like we didn't have State Line recorded, that's why we did it solely. Like trying to just make everything how it should be, and even like I'll do things live that I won't do on the recording.
Yeah.
Just because I don't know, it's a different animal. I don't know. It's an entertaining way to say something, but it really is.
That's true. State Line was the hardest one. I mean, you have footage of that. Like me just trying to record that.
47 takes or something like that.
Ridiculous.
I mean, I can't talk. What was the other? It was State Line. We were up to like 90 bass takes, which is embarrassing.
There were a couple of triple-digit takes on this album.
Yeah.
As much as people want to admit it because they restarted Logic and just delete those. But.
Or restarting after 6 months of recording.
Mm-hmm.
That was interesting. I didn't think about that till today. When it was like,
Yeah, we did this whole album
recorded-
once before.
Yeah,
we did this whole album once before.
So this is the second run through, and we wouldn't be where we are if we hadn't done the first run through.
Yeah, the first run through needed to happen. I remember that moment too. It was outside of the show in Trenton with Dan Maxwell and his band DMNHP.
Oh my god.
And
That
I remember
show
when we
was
first
so
said it,
bad.
and it was like, I don't even think, it wasn't even like a coup. Like,
Yeah.
we hadn't talked about it before and we're going to address it. It was just like, all of a sudden, I remember just being like, I'm not happy with the album sounds.
Actually, Wiz and I had talked about it a bit, and I agreed with him. I was like, we can continue on and have the sound that we have, or like we should say something. I think it was he. So I think it was Wiz that said it was like we need to redo this and like
Yeah.
start over again. Like,
It just sounds like dog shit. If you heard like the first takes that we did, you should.
they're bad.
They're real bad.
The drums are just one on whatever she likes. It's just one track. Like
Whatever she likes isn't even going to be on the album though, which is
Yeah.
another interesting thing.
Yeah. Wow. I didn't even think about that.
And that was the first song we started to record. The first time we went to record in Joe Ridge.
Both times,
Yeah,
which is I guess a good move.
I guess it's a good way to get those like first problems out of the way when you first start recording.
Switching to the new interface was
Yeah, the Tascam.
doing the drums like that was like heaven.
Oh yeah, having individual tracks for each drum, just like
And then
just the
doing-
quality is so much better all
Yeah.
around. Even if we had only done 2 inputs for the Tascam, it would still sound so much better.
Yeah.
What we had before was just all
It-
the mics
it
running through the
worked.
mixer,
It worked.
and then into the what was that one
The
called? The
interface from Kevin's freshman or from high school
the
graduation.
what was it
M
called?
audio.
M audio. I think it was
M audio.
poopty.
It was awful. Read us.
These are gonna be great.
I'm sorry about the seed, man.
That's alright. No,
I heard
they're
about
gonna
that.
be
They're gonna be fresh as hell.
the most amazing pretzels ever.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, they just went into the. They're waiting to get it out of whatever
The oven.
the oven.
Oh, no, dude.
Did you guys already eat your?
You put it in my hand,
Yeah, we
and
just
it's
seconded
so
It's still hot.
like a baby.
How's yours?
Mine's in the freezer.
Yeah. We started doing.
I can't sing once I have like custard in my throat.
Yeah, it's.
As an actress,
Although-
a bishop.
Wherever you
Oh,
Oh.
as an actress, I do a bishop.
All right.
PBR helps.
I guess we can probably take a pause. That was pretty good though.
Yeah, we're doing
What are you doing?
interviews.
We're
Interviews.
interviewing.